Hello students, today we are going to start the second part for the chapter, that is the gravitation. In the last part we have done about the introduction, then Newton's law of gravitation. Now next topic is the centripetal force. The centripetal force. What is the centripetal force? Whenever a particle is moving in the circle, the motion of the particle, that is the circular. There is the force, means whenever we are talking about the motion of any object, there is the requirement of the force. Now, the particle when it is moving in the circular path, let us suppose we have the particle that is moving in the circle having the radius r, let us suppose it is moving in clockwise direction. Then there is a requirement of the force that compel this particle to move in the form of the circle. The force which is required to move the particle in the form of circular path and is directed towards the center of this circle, that force is known as centripetal force. What is the centripetal force? As we have done in the last, that is the motion chapter. Centripetal force is the force that is required for the particle that compel the particle to move in the form of the circle, and the direction of this particular force is towards the center of the circle. Next, this is the centripetal force, and the centripetal force Fc, that is given by mv square upon r, where v is the velocity of the particle and r is the radius of the particular circle in which the particle is moving. Now, by using the concept of the centripetal force, we have to find, or we are going to explain, how does Newton is able to find the force, that the force depends on the masses and inversely proportional to the square of the distance, that we have done in our previous lecture. So, force Fc is given by mv square upon r. Now, if I am going to consider here that here is the earth and moon is revolving around the earth having the mass small m. Moon is revolving around the earth having mass m, such that capital M is the mass of the earth. Then we are going to solve this equation. Let us suppose capital R is the radius of the orbit in which the moon is revolving around the earth. So, as we know, force here is the centripetal force. Which force is acting? That is the centripetal force is required for the moon to move in the form of the circle around the earth. Now, if t is the time period means time taken by moon to complete one revolution. If capital T is the time period, means time taken by moon to complete one revolution. In that case, you can write down the value of the velocity v, that will be equal to 2 pi r, that is the distance or the displacement travelled in the one rotation divided by time t. Now put this value t here. Put the value here. So in this case we are going to consider the r is the radius of the orbit. So here will be capital R. Centripetal force Fc is equal to mv square upon capital R. Now Fc will be equal to, if I am going to put the value v here, m by capital R into 2 pi r upon capital T whole square. So Fc will be equal to m by r into 4 pi r square upon t square. From 1 r goes to r. Now next I am going to use the Kepler laws. Kepler was a physicist who gave the 3 laws for the planetary motion, how the planets are revolving around the earth. According to the first law of the Kepler, the planets revolve around the sun in the elliptical orbit. That is also known as the law of orbits. According to second law, every planet sweeps out equal area in the around the sun in equal intervals of time. That is known as the law of equal areas or the law of areas. Third law is known as the law of time periods. According to the third law, Kepler's third law, T square of the time period, that is directly proportional to the cube of radius of the orbit. Cube of the radius of the orbit. So T square will be K R cube. K is the constant of proportionality. Put the value of the T square here. So Fc, centripetal force, that is M into 4 pi R upon K R cube. From here will be the 1R goes with cube. You are left with R2. So Fc will be equal to 4 pi by K M upon R square. We are left with this one. Now this is the again constant 4 pi by K. Now I can write here Fc is proportional to M by R square, or Fc is proportional to M and Fc is inversely proportional to capital R square. Now we are talking about the centripetal force. Centripetal force means due to which this planet or you can say moon is revolving around the earth. Moon is revolving around the earth. Now this force is proportional to the mass of moon and proportional to the or inversely proportional to the square of the radius of this orbit. Now this centripetal force is applied by the gravitational force, or you can say that it is the force between the moon and the earth. It is the force between the moon and the earth. So the force acting on the moon, that is directly proportional to the mass of the moon and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between the moon and the earth. This was the statement of the Newton's law of gravitation. This is the force acting on the moon. If you are talking about the force acting on the earth, similarly that will be proportional to the mass of the earth, that is capital M, and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between these two, or the square of the radius of the orbit in which the moon is revolving around the earth. So in this way Newton come to the conclusion that the force that is acting between the moon and earth or any two massive bodies is directly proportional to their masses, product of their masses, and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. Okay. Now let's come to the next topic, that is acceleration due to gravity. Acceleration due to gravity. Next topic is acceleration due to gravity. Acceleration due to gravity. Acceleration, basically it is a physical term that defines the change in velocity. Acceleration defines the change in velocity of an object when some force is acting on it. When the force existing between the two bodies is due to their masses, that force is called the gravitational force. But when the force, or whenever you are going to consider, one is the earth, let us suppose here is the earth and there is the some body that is revolving around the earth. Let us suppose we are going to consider the previous example, that is moon. In that case, the force of attraction that exists between the moon and earth, that is called the force due to gravity, force due to gravity, or I can generalize more here. Let us suppose firstly I have any two objects masses m1 and m2. In this case the force of attraction between them, that is called the gravitational force. That is called the gravitational force. Now if this is the earth and any other object having the mass small m, then the force of attraction between this earth and the object is known as the force due to gravity. Now means whenever you are going to throw some object from particular height, it is going to move toward the surface of the earth. What does it means? Means the object is moving towards the earth. If the object is moving, there is some force acting on this object. That force is called the force due to gravity, and due to this force that is named as the force due to gravity, there will be some acceleration produced in the object. That acceleration is called the acceleration due to gravity. Okay. Now let us suppose I am going to consider here this is earth and here is any object A, such that capital M is the mass of the earth and small m is the mass of a particular object. Due to this force, the object will move towards the earth, and this force is called the force due to gravity, and this force is given by F is equal to G, mass of earth into mass of object upon the distance. The distance, if you are going to consider as the standard, as we know that the radius of the earth is the capital R, that is 6,400 kilometer. Sorry, 6,400 kilometer. The radius is the 6,400 kilometer, and this distance is very small, so we can reflect on. You can see that the object is placed on the surface of the earth. The objects are stationary on the surface of the earth. They are not in the motion, because the some force is attracting towards the earth. So the distance between this object having the mass m and the earth is taken as the radius of the earth. F is equal to G mm upon capital R square. Now we want to calculate the acceleration. As we know that acceleration, according to definition, that is force upon the mass. That is equal to force divided by mass of the object. Now if you want to calculate acceleration produced in this object, so put the value of F here, and this acceleration is denoted by small g. That is called the acceleration due to gravity, and it is represented by small g. Small g will be equal to F by m, that is the gravitational force. From here, G will be equal to G mm upon capital R square upon m. M goes with m. So you are left with small g is equal to G m upon capital R square. This is the acceleration due to gravity. Now acceleration of due to gravity is equal to the capital G into capital M upon capital R square. If you are going to put the values here, G is equal to capital G 6.67 into 10 raised to power minus 11 Newton meter square per kg square, and the mass of the earth is 6 into 10 power 24 kg. Next one is the radius of the earth is the 6,400 kilometers or 10 raised to power 3 meter whole square. I have converted here into the meters. So if you are going to calculate this, you will get G will be equal to 9.8 meter per second square. This is the acceleration due to gravity. Okay. So in this way, you can calculate the acceleration due to gravity on the surface of the earth. Different planets have the different acceleration due to gravity or the different accelerations, because when you are going to calculate the acceleration, there is a mass of the planet. We are talking about the earth, we have put the mass of the earth. you are going to talk about the moon, you will put the mass of the moon here. And if generally you are going to calculate the acceleration on any planet, it is written with the gp, that will be equal to capital G mp upon capital R square. Here G is the universal constant, mp represent the mass of the planet, and capital R represent the radius of the corresponding planet. Okay, so in this way you can calculate the acceleration at any planet. Now next come to the acceleration due to gravity is not constant. Small g is not constant. Small g varies with the height, varies with the depth. If you are going to move particular height, in that case acceleration due to gravity is going to be decreased. Similarly, if you are going to move inside the earth, in that case also acceleration due to gravity is going to be decreased. Now if we are going to consider the actual shape of the earth, it is the elliptical. Actual shape of the earth is elliptical, means it is not circular. I have drawn here the earth circular. It is the considered case. Actual shape is the elliptical. In the ellipse there are two axes. Okay, this is called the equator. This is called equator, and this is called the pole. The vertical line is called the pole, and the horizontal line is called the equator of the earth. Now, as clear from the figure, if you are going to consider the G equator, G acceleration due to gravity at equator, that will be equal to G m upon R e square. R e square means the radius of the equator, this much, or name it as O A B C D. You can consider OB or OA. Similarly, you can calculate that G at pole. At pole, it will be equal to G m upon R p square. Pole is equal to this much, OC or OD. So, as clear from the figure, RE, radius of the equator is greater than the radius of the pole. Means this value is greater as compared to this much. So, R equator will be less than the R pole, or the G equator will be less than G pole. Okay, means acceleration due to gravity at equator will be less than acceleration due to gravity at pole. Next topic is the weight of the object. Weight is equal to mass into acceleration due to gravity, or you can see that it is the force due to gravity that is acting on the different objects. Mass into acceleration due to gravity. Now, as the acceleration due to gravity varies with the shape of the earth, varies with the height from the surface of the earth, and varies with the depth from the surface of the earth. So, the weight of the object is not constant, it is variable. Weight of the object is variable. Mass is the constant and weight is variable. What is the mass? Mass is the generally total material that is present inside the body. That is the mass, and weight is the basically it is the force due to gravity that is acting on an object, and it is given by m into g. As the g is variable, so weight is also variable. Weight is also variable. Okay, so this is the mass and weight. Next one is the, with this I am going to consider the next concept, that is, if you are going to compare your weight on the surface of the earth and the surface of the moon. If the body is present on the surface of moon, in that case, what is the relation between the weight and the mass of the object? Before discussing the relation between the mass and weight, firstly we will discuss relation between the acceleration due to gravity at the surface of the moon and at the surface of the earth. Firstly, in case of moon, on moon, Okay. So if we are going to put the values here, mass of moon is 7.3 into 10 power 22 kg, and then there is the radius of the moon is 1.74 into 10 raised to power 6 meter. If you are going to put these values, you will get Gm upon, this is the Gm, mass of acceleration due to gravity of the moon. I am going to write on the mass acceleration due to gravity on the earth, Ge, that will be equal to capital G, mass of earth upon radius of earth whole square. And I am going to take the ratio of Gm to Ge. From here you will get, you are going to get from here, that is Gm upon Ge, that is equal to Gmm upon Rm square upon Gme upon Re square. G goes to G, and from here you are left with Gm upon Ge, that is equal to mm upon me into Re square upon Rm square. Now all the numerical values we know that these are for the moon. Similarly, you know for the earth. For the earth, mass is the 6 into 10 power 24 kg, and the radius is the 6400 kilometer or 6400 into 10 raised to power 3 meters. So by putting the values, you will get result from here Gm upon Ge, that will be equal to 1/6. So in this way, what is the value of the Gm? Gm will be equal to Ge upon 6. This is the acceleration due to gravity on the surface of the moon. It is a 1/6 times the acceleration due to gravity on the surface of the earth. Next, if you are talking about the weight, now weight is given directly by multiplying weight on the moon, that will be equal to m Gm, and weight on the earth, that will be equal to m Ge. Now if you want to compare the weight, you can compare the weight of the any person that is on the surface of the earth and the surface of the moon. From here, if you are going to calculate the weight on the surface of the moon, Wm, that will be equal to m into Ge by 6, or you can write it as the 1/6 the weight on the surface of the earth. This is the relation between the weight of the object on the surface of earth and the surface of the moon. So this is about the weight and acceleration due to gravity. Now next come to the free fall. Next is the free fall. What is the meaning of the free fall? Free fall means when object is moving only under the action of gravity. Means when the force acting on the object is the gravitational force or the force due to gravity, the object is said to be in the free fall. Okay. In that case, free fall, if object moves under action of gravity, under action of gravity, that is called the free fall. Now if the object is moving freely, there is a free fall, means acceleration of the object will be equal to acceleration due to gravity. So A is equal to G, that is the acceleration due to gravity. Now as we have done in the chapter motion, equations of the motion for the straight line, in that case you have written the equation, that is v square minus u square is equal to 2s. Second equation you have written s is equal to ub plus half at square, and last equation is the v is equal to u plus at. I think I have ordered the order. V These are the three equations of the motion for the straight line motion. Now next I want to convert these for the free fall. For free fall, nothing you have to do. You have to just replace A by G and S by H. So the first equation will be B square minus U square is equal to 2GH, and then second H is equal to U plus half GT square, and the last will be V will be equal to U plus GT. Okay, in this way you can get the equations of motion for the freely falling object. So this is all about the theoretical part of the chapter, that is the gravitation. In the next lecture we will discuss some numerical problems related to this chapter. Thank you.